afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dr. Janet Perin, representing the Department of Health. I was actually with the House of Representatives for the past 9 years. So first and foremost, in behalf of the Department of Health, allow me to apologize for all the chaos and confusions that the Medical Assistance Program has created. Admittedly, there were a lot of lapses on our end. Guidelines were being amended, I believe, for 3 times. So, pasensya po sa nangyari. Precise for me to say that last week, before the Secretary left for Geneva, this whole program was transferred to my office. I willingly and gladly accepted because I look at my position as something that was given to me with confidence and something that placed me there because of the teachings of my previous mentors in the House of Representatives like Boss Tito Raul Danmar. So, andito po ako ngayon. We admit medyo marami ang mga reklamo, marami ang confusion. So, I hope you will allow us to apologize for that, but also allow us to have a little breathing space. For the past 2 days, we actually reviewed everything that has happened, including the guidelines, including the process, and precise for me to say that admittedly most of the lapses were on the part of the department. That we admit, and the guidelines that was given to you was in contrary to the initial guidelines that I presented to the Speaker and the officers of the House. Hence, it became more tedious. So, we actually have a new set of guidelines. So, we'll be giving it in a while. Just to mention a few things. The previous administrative order that the Secretary signed will now be amended by the new AO that he signed before he left for Geneva. So, just to clearly point out, well, the GAA states that the eligible patients are the indigent patients. So, nagkakaroon po ng maraming confusion because yung iba kasi, there are a lot of definition for indigent patients. So, for this purpose, we define the patients as not indigent patients. Okay? So, the qualifications will be a recommendation from the MAP officials. And who are the MAP officials? Kayo yan. These are the congressmen or your designated personnel. So, yun po ang nangyari. And the eligible patients are all patients admitted or seeking consult in a government healthcare facility. Okay. Now, on the implementing mechanism, we also learned that because it was coined together with PAU, or the Public Assistance Unit of the Department of Health, nagkaroon ng maraming requirements. So, on the provision of medical assistance, there were requirements as to the original complete prescription for medicines and medical supplies, the original laboratory request, the original physician's order request form, and the statement of account, all of this. So, for your previous guidelines, under Section 4B, that whole paragraph has been deleted. So, we, the new guidelines that you have now, it's totally deleted. Kasi ando doon nga, yung sinasabi nyo na pinapabalik-balik yung pasyente, totoo yun. Kasi hinahanap yung mga original request, and the patient has to look for the doctor to sign it. And that task alone is very tedious. Kasi yung doktor minsan nagra-rounds, minsan nasa ibang. So lahat ng requirements na yon, mawawala yon. Also on the hospitals, we had a meeting with them last week, and instead of a single contact person, they are required to have at least 2 contact persons in charge of this program, the directory of which we will give to you in a while. On the previous guidelines, there were also a table that reflected the guidelines in terms of DOH retained health facilities and the non-DOH retained hospitals and healthcare facilities. Okay. Basically, the problem was this. For the DOH retained health facilities, mali naman po talaga, lalo na pag sinasabi nila na, uy, sorry po, wala po ditong pondo yung congressman nyo. Hindi po dapat talaga sabihin yun. Okay? So we already called the attention of all the chief of hospitals, and in fact, a memo has been released to them last Friday. So we will have 3 procedures. Unang-una po yung pinapakiusap ng lahat na downloading ng funds. The finance department, the finance section of the Department of Health has facilitated that, but we understand that because of the bureaucracy, minsan natatagalan. So if your funds are already downloaded in the DOH hospitals, so I repeat, una-una po, downloading of funds to DOH hospitals, including retained hospitals. That includes the regional medical centers and specialty hospitals. If your office has funds there, you can transact directly with them, yung point person na doon. Second, if in case nagpadala kayo ng pasyente, pagpadala na ng pasyente, sinabi, ay wala po ditong pondo yung opisina nyo, which usually happens. This is something that we admit should not happen, but unfortunately, the process of requesting the funds and downloading it takes a lot of time. So the proposal that we have in this case, kung sakasakaling pagdating, wala dyan, walang pondo, yung office or whatever, we have a directory that will be given to you and that will be emailed to all your offices. In that directory, there are 2 persons in charge of all hospitals. So makita niyo dun sa directory, andito yung mga pangalan ng mga hospitals, and then kung sino yung contact person na tatawagan nyo. So for any problem, you immediately call, text, or email the persons in charge of that hospital, and automatically they will issue a guarantee letter direct to your office and direct to the hospital. Kung sakasakaling hindi pa natanggap ng hospital, dala-dala na ng pasyente nyo yan kasi ibibigay ng office nyo. Pero kung yung pasyente naman nasa hospital, doon din niya kukunin. It's just like an alternative kung in case wala pa yung pondo nyo dun sa specific hospital. In that way, we will not let the patient wait. We will not let your office wait. And if the patient will be discharged on that day or the day after, the guarantee letter will be honored. We also understand na yung guarantee letter na unang nirelease, medyo yung format, it's good, it's okay. Unfortunately, the format creates a lot of questions. Kasi nga, parang it's an indigency program of the DOH. Nawawalan ngayon ng, let's admit it, the political points in the case of the office requesting it. Kasi ang nakapirma doon is Asik Lagahid, and it was placed there na hindi pwede i-honor pag Saturday and Sunday. Ando doon din yung nakalagay na its charge at the office of the secretary. So all of these were deleted. We will be giving you the new format of the guarantee letter. What is there is a barcode on top because that is our control and that's also given to the hospital. So nakalagay lang doon yung pangalan ng pasyente, kung saan hospital, and the amount that you would like us to place in the guarantee letter. Now, the people in charge, kaya yan dalawa for the meantime, but in the next 2 weeks, they will be 3. Why? Because they will be on 24/7 duty. So that you can call, the number that we will be given will be endorsed appropriately because they will be on 8 hours duty. So holidays, weekend, gabi man, madaling araw man, merong sumasagot sa text or tawag nyo. We will give the names to you and the contact numbers at the appropriate time. Now, the third one are the local government unit hospitals. We already have issued a directive to all our regional directors to come up with a MOA that we have drafted. It's a new memorandum of agreement for them to make representations for the governor to sign to cover all the hospitals. And in the case of LGU hospitals, we understand na sa iba walang problema, pero yung iba naman may problema. And on the part of DOH naman, we are bound by COA not to release funds if we have no obligation. So their mechanism will again be like a reimbursement process where all guarantee letters released by your office to them will be reimbursed within 10 working days by the department. So, yan po yung tatlong sistema. Just to make a recap, there will be 3 mechanisms. The first will be your funds will be directly downloaded to the specialty hospitals and all DOH retained hospitals. And when that happens, you can communicate directly to them. But just in case, pagpunta ng pasyente nyo o pagtawag nyo, hindi kayo agad-agad na-entertain, we will be giving you a directory for the personnel in charge 24/7. Just give them the name of the patient, the amount, and then a guarantee letter will be immediately forwarded to your office. The hospital will also be copied, and the personnel in charge, the cashier office will also be texted yung number, the amount, and the name of the patient para po agad-agad na ma-entertain. That mechanism also follows for the LGU hospitals. Now, the other requirements that yung table sa previous guidelines nyo, that was actually page 4 in the old requirements. What you have now is the new one. Tinanggal na namin lahat yon. We admit it's also very tedious, especially if the patient has to go to the social worker and come up with all these documentary requirements. Now, on the determination of the eligibility of a patient for assistance from the MAP, we have also deleted that because the eligibility of the patient is actually your decision. Then, also, to erase all doubts, we included it in the guidelines kasi yung LGU hospitals are concerned na baka hindi sila mabayaran or whatever. Nakalagay na doon that within 10 working days, the department is obliged to pay them. That's why in the letter that we sent out to the governors and the regional directors and the chief of hospitals, we requested for their corresponding bank and bank accounts para direkta ng bank-to-bank na magbabayad lahat-lahat na bank-to-bank na yung pagbayad ng central office sa lahat ng mga hospitals. Now, there are also a lot of, the reason why there were a lot of requirements in the previous guidelines was that in the GAA that was approved, ando doon nga nakastipulate yung medicines given, laboratories done, yung mga itemized list. So all of that will now be complied by a specific team that will be handling. So every patient, tuloy-tuloy yung pagbigay nyo ng assistance. But my office, there will be 4 or 5 personnel whose work will be to comply with all the requirements under the GAA, yung mga gamot na binibigay. So all of these requirements, para hindi na yun itulak sa pasyente. Kasi kaya rin nagre-reklamo yung ibang pasyente dahil napipingpong sila. Ang daming opisina na pinupuntahan, which is actually not good kasi parang pinapahirapan pa sila. So that has been deleted, and instead, it will be a responsibility of my office to comply with all of these requirements. Now, on the draft memorandum of agreement with the LGUs, while initially we wanted to just have it signed by the chief of hospital, hindi nga raw po pwede kasi they're under the direct supervision of the local government chief executive. So the others have decided not to put funds on the LGU hospitals. But for those who will be putting funds, our assurance is that hindi naman siya magagamit ng governor kasi first, we are bound by COA rules not to download kung wala kaming payables. So, kung may guarantee letter galing sa inyo, yan po ang babayaran ng Department of Health. Now, there were also concerns that we raised to us. We realized na nagkaroon ng 2 forms. And yung una kasi I was confused when I was receiving calls because the entire program was handled by another office. Now, I understood that ito palang 2 forms because it's a PAW or a Public Assistance Unit office. Yung isang form na pinapadala sa inyo, parang yung mga walk-in patient na gustong magpatulong, the PAW office writes the recommendation and sends it to your office. So, medyo hindi maganda kasi parang ang feeling tuloy ng pasyente, nagpunta siya sa DOH, ngayon itutulak namin sa office nyo, pag hindi agad ma-entertain ang office nyo, marami pang salita. So the decision of the department is to do away with all walk-in patients. Because in the first place, it was made clear to us that these funds are not DOH funds, but are actually funds of congressmen who are there to assist their constituents. So the referral letter, if ever you receive one coming from DOH, don't mind that. But we already gave instructions. I personally gave instructions last week to do away with all of those. Kasi hindi pa pwede yung mga taga, pag may lumalapit doon, i-refer namin sa inyo. You know best and you know better sino ang nangangailangan ng tulong sa distrito nyo. Isa pa, hindi rin talaga namin alam kung constituent nyo because they can always say they're from this district, they're from this area. Tapos hindi naman. Now, there was also the issue of the compilation or the collation of patients for the day before referring to the map. Parang binubuo muna sila lahat before ipadala. Siyempre, tumatagal din talaga. Kaya, every time may pasyente, if they go to your office, just refer them to us immediately. And within 30 minutes, at the most, that will be, yan na yung pinakamatagal, the guarantee letter will be emailed direct to your office. Whether it will be your office here or your district office, just give us the email address. But aside from that, and guarantee letter is also with the respective hospital. So, yung issue na kinokulit mo na lahat before gawa ng guarantee letter, mawawala na yon kasi meron ng taong in charge for that specific hospital. So, if I'm the patient, I go, let's say, to the office of Congresswoman Katangco. Pagdating ko doon, sasabihin ko, kung nangangailangan ako ng tulong, her office will text the person in charge. Then the guarantee letter goes to her office, you print it, and then you can always say, ito po tulong ni Congressman, tulong po ng opisina, dalhin nyo lang ito sa opisina, sa hospital, sa cashier's office. That will be entertained. Okay? And in the guarantee letter, there's no mention of any person in the Department of Health. There's just a mention there of the indigency fund that's being used to assist them. Now, meron din mga tanong, yung billing amount daw, hindi nagko-coincide sa requested amount no, sa guarantee letter. We already gave instructions for the hospital. Kung kunyari ang pinabigay niyong tulong is 4,000 or let's say 5,000, yung billing niya kasi nabawasan pa pala ng PhilHealth or whatever, naging let's say 3,500 na lang. Para hindi na tumagal, pakuha niya na lang ng take-home meds niya kasi meron namang mga gamot yung bibig inuwi niya sa bahay. So, pakuha na lang doon, idadagdag na nila sa bill yun. The hospital wouldn't mind as long as the amount stipulated in the guarantee letter will be the amount that the hospital will honor. If the bill is like 5,000, the guarantee letter is 4,500, then they have to pay for the 500. Kasi medyo mahirap silang ano. Okay. The other issue was that yung nagbabago, let's say, meron kayong pondo na ni-request, and we fully understand na sa dami ng nakakaharap nyo, syempre minsan kasi napansin namin, meron kayong constituent nag-aaral sa ibang probinsya o ibang region. Na-aksidente doon, nagkasakit, whatever happens, wala kayong pondo doon. So, instead of waiting for the downloaded funds, the personnel in charge, dun ulit sa directory na ibibigay at i-email namin sa inyo within the day, yun ulit yung tatawagan. Kasi nakalagay naman doon, even yung hospitals na hindi sa distrito nyo. So, we will still honor that as long as yung pondo nyo may naiwan pa na hindi siya fully downloaded dun sa isang hospital. So, yun yung pwede. But if it's like fully downloaded at na-utilize na, makikiusap naman kami na maghirap on our part kasi the funds that are remaining are actually funds for use of the other congressmen. On the memorandum of agreement that will be signed by the local government chief executive, there was also this concern na nire-refer pa sila sa social worker. Well, admittedly, it really takes time, especially na yung municipal social welfare officer, isa lang siya. Pag nagbre-break siya or nagli-leave, wala na. since it's DOH and the hospital has the capability to determine, and in the new guidelines, the definition of indigent patients and eligible patients is those seeking consult and admitted in a government healthcare facility, then our legal department also agreed that we don't need a social worker para hindi na sila pupunta at hindi na sila mahirapan. The mere fact that they sought consult in a government health facility, that's enough. Now, what will be the requirement for the guarantee letter to be honored? Di ba meron yung mga dati original prescription, original clinical abstract, original medical certificate, social workers, mga blah blah blah. Tinatanggal na namin lahat yon. Kasi sad to say, tama din na magalit kayo. Because we realize that many, if not all of the hospitals, meron palang corresponding charges for this. So, hindi namin alam yun, or apologies for that. Every document pala na nire-require na clinical abstract, medical certificate, meron palang bayad. So, yung pasyente, syempre, mas talong nagagalit at yung pala, yung bottleneck. So, ini-explain ng hospital na hindi, ini-entertain namin yan, kulang lang yung requirements. Ngayon, nung tinanong namin yung mga pasyente, kasi yung requirements pala, may bayad din. So, ang pangit tingnan. So, all of that requirements have been deleted because these are requirements of the PAO office. Part kasi yun ng parang ISO certification. So, these were all deleted. The only requirement that the guarantee letter will be requiring is an attached hospital billing. Okay? Because from that hospital billing, magkakaroon na kami ngayon ng papel na pwede namin i-trace para dun sa lahat ng mga requirements for COA and GAA purposes. So that's all the... And just last concern pala, ang daming tumatawag about the procurement of medicines. While we would like to support that, our dilemma is that our hands are tied. Because in the funds that were approved, nakaspecify kasi siya ng hospital assistance. May we just request na kung pwede for the next year, i-specify doon na pwede yung procurement of medicines for medical missions. Because as of now, DBM does not allow us. Actually, ang tinignan din namin, hindi rin kasi solely mag-lane yung DBM. Kasi ang naging problema, parang yung may mga COA reports, not related to PDAF, but related to procurement of medicines in some hospitals and in some LGUs. And because of this, parang naging damay-damay ang lahat. So while they are doing things to resolve that, hindi muna inalaw. So yun naman yung medyo dilemma natin. But then, if you have medical missions, these are like outpatient, you can group them together, like, oh, you can have a diabetes clinic, or you can have a hypertensive clinic, and then the laboratories and the medicines that they will be using can be charged to the hospital. So, pwede po yung gano'n. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon po.
I was...
My question is regarding health facilities that doesn't have any medicines or any medical supplies. Considering that I've heard in the recent news that almost all private hospitals in Metro Manila will not honor claims from patients, considering that PhilHealth itself owes these hospitals, these private hospitals, and is having a hard time of facilitating all the papers for the claim of the hospital for the PhilHealth benefits of the patient. Kasi po, that is one side, kasi sa amin sa probinsya, talaga pong minsan ay ang hospital lang, for example, in Biliran, there's only one hospital, which is the provincial hospital. There's no private hospital, there's no national government hospital. The nearest national government hospital is 2 hours away. Now, most of the patients are really poor. Some of them needs immediate attention, immediate operation, surgical operation at that, and has a lot of prescriptions needed for the operations to be conducted immediately. Unfortunately, let's agree that mostly government hospital, especially in the rural areas, doesn't have
Medicines.
The medicines and the...
These are for LGU hospitals, no?
Yes.
Not for, hindi yung DOH.
Kasi po, ang ginagawa namin doon, when there was PDAF, and I'm a doctor kasi, so, ang ginagawa ko, minumowa ko sa governor, and then, we abide by all of the COA rules. Ano bang requirement ng COA? Dahil, pag binagsak mo sa LGU yan, the LGU must be responsible for the families. Under all COA rules. So, mangyayari po dyan, kailangan ng social profiling. Kailangan po ng medical certificate or hospital abstract. Hahanapan po sila ng resibo ng mga gamot. Kaya nangyayari po, mas effective nun because nasa LGU ang pondo, nagpa-facilitate ang district office. Kung walang gamot sa loob ng hospital, sa emergency room, kami mismo ang bumibili sa butika sa labas, may resibo, nakapangalan sa pasyente, para pag niliquidate namin sa COA, malinis. Walang dahilan na kung saan napunta yung pondo. Pero kung tatanggalin po natin ngayon, yung mga requirements na, I don't know if COA will acceptable sa kanila na walang mga supporting justifications, just hospital bill lang. Because alam niyo po, kung hospital bill lang ang sagot ng DOH fund, talagang kawawa ang mahihirap. Dahil ang hospital walang gamit, walang gamot, walang anesthetics, or halos lahat. So,
okay, for the COA, sa ganitong sistema, let's go back to the ano, please. Okay, for this kasi, for the guarantee letter, it will be acceptable to COA because the patient's bill will allow us to look into what we call the web PAIs. So what DOH has set up is an internet linkage among all our hospitals that we encode the patient's name, we get their records. So ibig sabihin, actually hindi ko comply kasi meron na lang kaming mga tao na tega-comply nun. So we transfer the burden of the patients to our staff. Now, yung sa LGUs, we will make immediate representations with DBM. Kasi yung downloading ng funds, hindi namin alam kung papayagan. In the previous meeting kasi, hindi ko pwede kung wala kang billing basis. Now, what we can actually do is that, I don't know if it will be of much help. What we can do is possibly include it in the MOA, that the governor who will sign, kasi yung governor naman yung may pondo, the governor who will sign will also manifest that while they are signing, kasi it's actually income for them eh. Kasi kaysa ang nangyayari ngayon, yung pasyente walang pambayad, hindi mo naman mapilit. With the congressional fund now, yung pasyenteng walang pambayad, aside from PhilHealth, kahit paano, nadadagdagan ng pondo nyo. So, ang mangyayari doon is it's also a welcome income for them. Then maybe in the MOA, we will stipulate that it's their mandate to provide the basic meds and the commonly used medicines in their hospital. So, that's one that we can do. But after this meeting, allow me to have some time to make representations with DBM and COA on how we are going to facilitate that. Okay. Yeah, pati doon na lang sa first slide. Molly, can we go na lang sa presentation? Okay, next slide please. No. Slide, previous slide. Okay, so this is the new term that will be included, yung eligible beneficiary. So we do away with the social worker, with the assessment whatsoever. We are seeking consultation. Sinama namin yung rehab per request of other congressmen, examination, or otherwise, regardless of room category. Okay? Kasi meron namang mga pasyente na hindi raw tinatanggap kasi nasa semi-private room. or private room. Unfortunately, there are illnesses that mandates their isolation or minsan puno yung hospital. Hindi naman nila kasalanan, nasa private room sila. So, isasama na rin siya. Ito lang yung problema namin, yung professional fees. Maybe you can help us with, ito talaga, it's really cool. We made several representations. Binabalik naman ng COA sa amin, which is somehow true kasi as indigent patients, hindi, lalo na pagka PhilHealth, meron na kasing professional fee. Supposed to be yung doctor, hindi na sumisingil. Kaya siya hindi na justify. Kasi like with the case rate, yung PhilHealth kasi may actually in a meeting with PhilHealth, I put forward a proposal, sabi ko sa PhilHealth, baka naman pwede. Kasi what happens is, if I'm the doctor, kunyari pasyente si Kong Henry Pride Deves, na PhilHealth siya or HMO. What PhilHealth and HMO does is that they pay the hospital for the medical bills. The PF goes direct to my bank account. Ganun po yun. So sa government hospitals, ganun din. The PhilHealth goes direct to the bank account of the doctor. So minsan, hindi alam ng pasyente na meron na siyang binayad. So what we are recommending is they give the money for the PF direct to the patient then pays that to the doctor, then magtawaran na sila para may semblance ng bayad. We have a pending proposal about that sa PhilHealth and medyo nag-okay naman sila initially kasi nangyayari ngayon, people do not know na yung doktor nababayaran pala ng PhilHealth. Kaya pag sumisingil sila, akala naman ng pasyente na talagang walang naibayad. Nagdodoble actually. Kasi like, pinaanak mo, so PhilHealth would pay you like 8,000. So, that's something that we would like to solve. They still get refunds from PhilHealth. Actually, yung sa ngayon, kasi yung walang PhilHealth. Ngayon pala, just to inform you, there's a point of care. Okay, what is the point of care program? The point of care says, may pasyente ka, nasa government hospital, makikita naman ng hospital na walang pambayad yun, walang PhilHealth. The point of care allows, actually it mandates the hospital to automatically enroll the patient. Nagkaroon lang ng konting glitch kasi nung nagbabayad yung hospital sa PhilHealth, na-disallow ng COA. Okay. Yung COA naman, nung dinisallow nila kasi nasa batas na talaga na yung income ng hospital hindi pwedeng pambayad ng PhilHealth premium. So, for an exemption, we already had 3 meetings with PBM. During the latest meeting, we submitted a format again to Sec Butch, and then we are awaiting, verbally in principle, Secretary Abad already agreed kasi sabi ko, boss, ang kailangan lang naman talaga dito papel na pirmado ng DBM instructing COA that they are now allowing hospitals, they're amending that rule that hospitals can pay for the premium. So medyo masosolve na yun. So yung pasyente walang pambayad, pagpasok niya, at hindi siya enrolled dun sa matrix, pwede siyang i-enroll ng hospital. Yes. So, yun yung point of care. So, yung admission niya na yan, mababayaran na siya ng PhilHealth.
Hello. Hello, magandang hapon po. Tanong ko lang, Yusek, are all hospitals nationwide ay may point of care?
Supposedly, all DOH hospitals, yes. Yung LGU naman, sinama rin sila. Yun lang yung naging yung payment ng income. Kasama na rin po sila. So, lahat po yun.
Second po ay, kasi yung, halimbawa po, makaka-avail ng mga indigent patients ng point of care. Is it available 24/7 ang pag-issue po ng point of care para sa mga pasyente po?
Yes, because the hospital enrolls them. So the hospital gets their data, may form na sila, tapos hindi nga makakabayad yan, yung parang bill niya, babayaran ng PhilHealth.
So it becomes automatically enrolled
Yes, yes.
once they are confined
Yes,
or to be
yes.
confined in the hospital.
Yes.
How about USEC, yung po yung mga emergency cases po na yung kailangan po ng pasyenteng mahirap na kailangan din to avail yung private doctors, is the point of care takes care of that.
Yung sa private...
Halimbawa po na aksidente po at nagkaroon po ng problema sa brain. So, the hospital, especially the LGU's hospitals, ay wala pong available sa kanila ng neurologist. So, kailangan pong kumuha ng private doctor. How can we address the problem of the patient?
Actually, as long as the patient is indigent, and even if it's a paid patient, tapos walang specialist na available, PhilHealth covers them. As long as the doctor is PhilHealth accredited.
They are fully covered
Yes,
po.
yes. Kaya lang yung PhilHealth kasi, meron silang like, for this case, ito yung TF. For this case, ito yung TF. Sometimes kasi the other doctors would charge more. So parang PhilHealth plus.
Yun nga po eh. Kasi, halimbawa, maniningil po ng, yung neurologist, maniningil po siya ng, kung minsan po, 120,000.
Yun.
Yan po ang tanong. Siyempre, hindi naman po mamimili yung, sabihin po, yung pangyayari ay hindi makakapamili kung sino yung tao, kung mahirap ba siya o mayaman. Ang mahirap po yung isang mahirap na tao ay maaksidente. Hindi lamang po sa motorsiklo, whatever accident that can happen to an individual, ay kung masasagot po ba yun, yung 120,000, yung isang po 200,000, ang bawa po, kung minsan kasi meron din pong inaatake, nasa isang okasyon, biglang inatake, at dinala po sa heart center or sa ibang specialty hospitals, masasagot po ba yun ang point of care?
For the PhilHealth enrollment, yes. And the fee corresponding to what PhilHealth allows. Unfortunately and admittedly, nagkakahiyaman sabihin, meron talagang ibang doctors that they take advantage. So, nag-charge sila ng malaki. May taripa naman supposedly yun, pero yung iba nga hindi sumusunod. Because unlike the lawyers, you have IDP. For the doctors, wala kasing integrated PMA, kumbaga. It was actually the law that I believe Congresswoman Binay, myself, and two others were pushing before. Kasi there's no body disciplining doctors. Dapat din kasi, tama naman na sumingil kasi hanap buhay nila yun. Pero yung tolerable, ang nangyayari kasi parang kanya-kanya na, wala nang sinusunod. That's why we have a pending proposal with PhilHealth, maybe you can help us with that, na yung payment ng professional fee, the reimbursement goes direct to the patient. Para yung pasyente, dala-dala niya yung pera, ibabayad niya, dun sila magne-negotiate. Kasi ang nangyayari sa ngayon talaga, it goes direct to the doctor.
Sa pa po, Yusek, kung hindi po masasagot lahat ng PhilHealth, that is why concerned po kami na maunawaan po ng COA at ng DBM na sana po yung aming allotted funds for the medical assistance ay mabigyan po ng pagkakataon na makapag-recommenda po kami ng professional feeding po pandagdag doon sa hindi po ma-accommodate ng PhilHealth.
Yeah, we will also make representations. Pero siguro, ito kasi yung ngayon nakasama siya dun na. Kasi previously, meron yatang na-disallow yung GOMA, yung sa PDAF pa before. So that's why. Pero yung isa naman doon, maybe we also have to inform the patients that there's this law, lalo na pagka-government hospital, hindi pwede ma-hold yung patient. So kung nabayaran na yan, ang supposed to be yung hospital, pwede silang i-release.
Yung second, halimbawa po, isang mahirap na pasyente na lumapit sa amin na by emergency cases ay nalagay po sa private hospital. How can we be of help to them, Yusek?
Through the medical assistance program that you recommend. So as long as they're in a government health facility, a private hospital.
Private po. Nadala po at yun po ang pinakamalapit.
The resolution talaga doon is yung i-transfer.
In the real sense po, Yusek, nangyayari po kasi yan. Opo.
We understand, marami po nangyayaring ganyan. Pero marami rin po na immediately nililipat. Actually, there's a proposal to expand yung medical assistance program to include the private hospitals. Kaya lang, yung ito nga yung ngayon, madalian kasi siya during the budget hearing. At least like we now have basis for request for the next budget.
Yun po kasi, alam po yung funds na allotted for every district ay it has to be identified by a district congressman or party list na particular hospitals.
Actually po, not necessarily. That's why we wanted to correct that kasi marami nga yung nagre-reklamo, no? Correct as if, ayun, ang daming nagreklamo na bakit daw pinapa-identify ng hospital tapos pag gusto nang ilipat ang hirap. Ang totoo po, hindi naman po necessary na mag-identify kayo agad unless you want your money downloaded there immediately. Our initial recommendation was actually we'd send the guarantee letters and bayaran agad para walang tagal, walang maraming requirements. Kasi the hospital structure has a lot of requirements for indigency program. Nakukuha kasi din sila eh. So, to solve that, yun yung pinupose namin. But then, there were others naman who were very comfortable with outright downloading. So, sabi namin, okay naman yun. For those na wala kayong downloaded na pondo, actually, it's easier, better, and more flexible. Kasi by the time na nagpalit ka ng isip, kunyari party list congressman ka, dito ka naglagay ng pondo. Then meron din yung kasama nyo, kaibigan nyo, tumatakbo din. You want to concentrate in this area. So, very flexible. All you have to do is look at our directory, tell the person in charge you want a guarantee letter immediately to this hospital, this patient, padala agad. So, hindi na yung na-download na doon, babawiin mo ulit, i-realign mo, mas matagal yon. So, for those who are not able to submit a list of breakdown, wala pong problema. You just call, text, Attorney Val is here, Molly is the one heading the group, that's Molly. So, kasama rin doon yung AO ko, si Ethel, and then yung si Annalyn. Ito si Molly, he will be heading the staff. Ito si Molly, pakita mo yung... Si Molly will be the one supervising the personnel na 24/7 on 8 hours rotation to cater to your calls or maski yung staff nyo. So yung dun sa directory, ulitin ko lang, dalawa lang muna yung pangalan doon, may dadagdag na pangatlo, telephone numbers and date of hospitals. So kung yung pasyente ay dito sa Hospital A, ito yung pangalan ng pasyente, Hospital A, about text nyo lang, yung inyong designated na office or ano, padala kagad namin yung guarantee letter by email. Kung walang email, we will fax it. But at the same time, we give a copy to the cashier's office and the director's office in the hospital. Para pag pumunta ng pasyente, kung yung lumapit ng deliver, district office mo, punta sila ibinigay.
For clarification lamang po, Sana po lend me your ears. Silence, please. Hindi po tayo magkakaintindihan if everybody, all of us are talking. May clarificatory questions lang po about you, sir. Yung po bang ating available personnel in your office po can accommodate all congressmen's concerns with regards to the sending of guarantee letters? Kasi po, katulad ko lamang po sa aking distrito po ay napakarami po na binibigyan namin dati ng guarantee letter. Kung minsan po, na po, minsan po 100 pasyente. Kung kami po lahat ay almost 300 congressmen po kami, can they all accommodate all of us po for that particular day? Pangalawa po, yung po muna sagot.
Actually, yes. Pasensya lang po, nagkaroon kasi ng konting misunderstanding. When this program came in, and initially I thought it will be assigned to my office with trained people. Kaya lang, nung nagkaroon ng meeting si SEC, and with some leaders of the House, nagkaroon ng konting miscommunication. So hindi po, parang nakat because they thought that hindi na kailangan yung gagawa ng guarantee letter at gagawa ng guidelines. Gagawa ng mga yung medicines given, laboratories requested, because it will be requested by the patient sa hospital. Yung lumabas na ngayon na may bayad pala yung lahat ng data na yun, actually, ni-retrieve namin yung lahat na training. We started calling them. We had a meeting last week. Dinagdagan ng tao. So, makakayanan po nila. And if there will be a bottleneck at some point of time, nagdadagdag po kami ng tao. But for now, people who were facilitating before, that's a total of 6 or 7 people. Now they're 14 and 21. So yun po ang situation. So for sure they can accommodate everybody.
Second po, yung patients po na confine or confine pa lang sa LGU's hospitals in my province po, ay paano po sila mabibigyan ng gamot ng hospital kung wala pa po na kasi sabi po ninyo, yung munang hospital bill ang ibibigay, isa-send po sa inyo. Tama po ba ako? Yung munang hospital bill ang isa-send po sa inyo at kayo po ang magda-download ng pera sa provincial government. Kasi yung pong LGUs ay under po ng provincial executives. Ay paano po tatanggapin ng isang LGU hospital katulad po sa amin, yung provincial hospital, na sasabihin na lang po na paano po ba ang communication namin? Kami po ay magbibigay ng endorsement sa director ng LGU hospital or halimbawa po, provincial hospitals or district hospitals within my district, magbibigay po ba ako ng endorsement sa director para po lahat ng kanyang kailangan gawin na examinations, laboratories, ultrasound, CT scan, those are facilities available in the hospitals. At saka po yung medicines, yun po ba ay i-endorse ko po sa district as a director ng hospitals? For that matter.
We actually sent already a memo to all regional directors, and they will be making representations isa-isa po sa lahat ng hospital na any guarantee letter na dala ng pasyente galing sa opisina ng congressman, tanggapin nila. Because we will also be sending a direct similar kapit sila para at least alam nila na meron. Now, yung ipapadala namin sa congressional office nyo, na ibibigay nyo ngayon sa pasyente na ito po, tulong ni congressman, ganyan, dadali ng pasyente yun, di ba? Ibibigay niya sa hospital. Pagdala niya dun sa hospital, lahat po yun, let's say at the end of 2 weeks, i-compile ng hospital, and then they just send it to the regional office. The regional office will now validate it with us, and then we say yes, kasi magpapadala na kami ng amount, and do that fund transfer within 10 working days. That's the maximum, 10 working days.
Actually, salamat po. Klaro-klaro na po. Maraming salamat.
Yeah. So, hindi po tatagal yung utang.
Hapon po ulit, Yusek. Alam niyo po, sa DSWD version, yung present version ngayon, I was able to talk to the Secretary DOE. And ganun din ang assistance fund, the same from the same fund that what DOH would provide for each and every districts. Ang napagkasunduan po namin regarding yung situations like us na malayo kami sa regional office, malayo po kami sa mga regional hospitals or national agencies, ida-download po nila, meron na po silang ginawang MOA from the central office, pipirma yung regional director ng DSWD, at ida-download po yung pondo, let's say 12 million, sabi ni Secretary, kung kahit kalahati lang muna. Kasi masyadong malaki yung pondo. So yung kalahati po, ida-download daw sa local government na gusto mo, na mag-i-implement ng programa ng DSWD, at yung provincial government na yun, which will be signed by the governor and the regional director of the department, yung pong pondo na yon, responsable na po ang LGU. So, yung LGU, sila na rin, all the auditing policies of government, they should abide by it. And after ma-consume yung 6 million, responsibility ng local government na i-liquidate sa DSWD bago ma-release yung second batch na pondo. So, mas magiging effective dito kesa yung kada release. For example, walang ibang dapat kung daanan kung di sa local government na facility dahil malayo nga yung national. Kung dalawa-dalawa liquidation, tatakbo ka pa ng region, malayo pa, maghihintay ka pa ng 10 days, I doubt it if the national government can immediately facilitate the assessment, the liquidation of all districts in the country. Dahil po, isa lang opisina yan eh. And aside sa kanilang normal standard operations, ito pa yung dagdag na trabaho galing sa mga pondo na ito nga, former I doubt it po kung mapapabilis natin, and we're talking here of lives of people. Health ito, hindi naman ito rehabilitation, hindi po ito po yung immediate ang kailangan. Tatakbo sa emergency room, kailangan agad ng gamot, appendicitis, alam niyo po yun, doktor po tayo. Hindi po pwedeng paghintayin na 10 araw ito. Kung hindi po, putok yan. Kaya sa akin po, sana bigyan po natin ng leeway naman. Lalo na yung mga lugar na katulad sa amin, na ang layo namin sa regional department, na kung pwede po, meron namang existing COA rules. Napakahigpit ng COA yun, alam natin lahat. Talagang napakahirap na yun. Kawawa ang mga LGU ngayon dahil talaga sobrang higpit ng COA ngayon. Talagang pag-iisipan mo na tatanungin mo muna sila, tama ba itong paggastos ko? Bago mo gawin para siguradong safe ka. Sa akin po, sana naman sa mga ganitong situation, magkaroon naman ng paraan para agad maibigay namin.
Yeah. We will relay it and then come back to you. Magpaalam po kami on how to go about it. Initially kasi nung napag-usapan kasi yung downloading to LGUs when we were at the DBM office, ang nasabi kasi nung hindi kasi diretso sa hospitals. But the premise kasi doon, nagkakaroon kasi ng problema, kaya nga magkaiba yung premise. Now, that's a very valid reason. Before kasi yung nagiging problema na pagka-downloaded yung pondo, tapos kasi nag-away si Gov at si Kong or si Mayor, ginamit yung gano'n, hindi na nare-retrieve. That's the problem we have now with the health facilities enhancement. Like, kasi...
Sabi po sigurado, excuse me, wala pong problema sa amin.
Yeah. So, Ito yung mga naging premise before. So, we'll make the necessary representations. But for the meantime,
Thank you po.
Maling power. Next slide, next slide. Okay. Teka, balik. Yan. Okay, ano ko lang, i-clarify ko lang kung ito is DOH retained health facilities without downloaded funds. Hindi ibig sabihin na kailangan may guarantee letter talaga lahat. Minsan kasi, agad-agad yung may pupunta sa inyong pasyente. Heart center pala siya or nag-aaral siya dun sa UP Visayas, so nasa Western Visayas Medical Center siya. Yung pag-download takes time kasi may mga documentary. Kaya sinasuggest namin na kung wala kayong downloaded pondo doon, minsan naman merong a little miscommunication na nag-request na pala kayo ng downloading of funds for that hospital. Kagaya, allow me to extend our apologies. Last week ko lang nalaman yung case ni Congresswoman Lucy Torres na nagreklamo nga si Kong Lucy, may representative I believe sa office ni Kong Lucy dito. Please extend her apologies. Kasi nung una, actually last week ko lang nalaman yung ganitong problema nung nag-i-endorse na sinabi niya sa hospital ng pasyente niya, tapos sinabi ng hospital, ay wala po kayong pondo dito. So, medyo hindi nga maganda ang dating. It should not have been said. Now, kung wala pa yung pondo or hindi pa dumating, yun pala, yung request niya came in late para nandun sa second batch. Yung natanggap ng hospital, first batch pa lang. So, kung ganong problema, dito kayo para mas mabilis. Habang hinihintay natin yung downloading, padala na kaagad kayo ng request for medical assistance. Agad-agad ibibigay namin yung guarantee letter. Kasi pag may guarantee letter na dala ang pasyente nyo, parang PCSO yan. Diba? Pag dala nila, wala nang tanong yung hospital kasi guarantee letter, good as cash yan. Kumbaga parang SM gift check. Okay? SM gift check. The guarantee letter, we give it to your office. We send it to your office. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Yung guarantee letter. Okay, for those who are asking, this is the guarantee letter. This is the guarantee letter that we will make. Now, kung kunyari, buo pa, we will just put it hospital bill. Nilalagay lang namin ang breakdown ng kanyan. Kung may breakdown, kung walang breakdown, we just place hospital bill and the amount. You see PHC 140, yung may number at may mark. Okay, that's Philippine Heart Center, may corresponding number. That's actually a code. That code will allow us to retrieve the data of the patient. Kaya yung mga nakalagay sa GAA na mga, ito yung mga requirements, yung COA, yung medicines given, that will not be your work. That will be our work. Because that control number will allow us to retrieve all patient information from our computer and the computers of the hospital. So yun po ibig namin sabihin. So dito, tinanggal na rin namin yung pumitirma na si ASEC Jimmy Lagahin. ASEC Jimmy is, kaya nandiyan siya before, kasi siya yung head ng PAW office and he's the HEA of Secretary Ona. We also admit na hindi nga maganda tingnan na meron ibibigay kayo tapos yung makikita ng pasyente na ASEC Lagahin kasi nawawalan ngayon ng points na totoo naman na kayo ang nag-facilitate ng pondo. So that's why the new guarantee letter will just be like this. No signatory, no mention of the Secretary of Health, no mention of any EA or any personality. Yan lang, email namin, just give it. What is important is you give the form that we have because the hospitals know that when they look at the control number, pasok na kaagad yun. Because that number will be corresponding to the amount that we place there. And that number, when it comes to us, compute na kami. At the end of 2 weeks, alam na namin magkano yung ipapadala sa kanila. Through bank to bank. Yes, ma'am. Ay, sir. Sorry.
Good afternoon, Yusek.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, distinguished colleagues. My name is Ted Garcia. I'm the Congressman of the 2nd District of Bataan and a former three-term governor. I have no question, but it might help in our discussion if I explain how we're doing it in Bataan. In Bataan, I know the history of devolution because I was a governor then in 1992.
Yes.
And when I saw that devolved sa amin, especially yung hospital, sabi ko, this is bound to fail because yung kakibat na pondo, wala. And so when I had the opportunity to renationalize it, I had to renationalize. Sad to say, akala ko okay na, kulang pa rin. And so what we did is about 10 years ago, we entered into a MOA with DOH, where lahat ng MOA ng DOH will be matched by the province on a one-to-one basis. Binibigyan din ho namin ng MOA, pati ho lahat ng infra construction. So I think it's succeeding because now it's perfectly functioning and talaga napaka-importante ho ng public hospitals kasi mas mura sa public hospital. And kagaya ho ngayon, because of that MOA, lahat ho ng pasyente sa Bataan General Hospital, which is a tertiary hospital with a complement of 300 bed, nakakapag-libre ng lahat namin ang gusto namin ilibre.
Well, all those suggestions are noted, sir. And in fact, we heard about the arrangement of your hospital. Unfortunately, medyo mahirap siya implement nationwide na because of the law of devolution. But if there's a move to renationalize healthcare services, we will not have any objection.
But as I was saying, nung ma-renationalize akala ko wala ng problema because yung national government na in charge and daming pera ng national government vis-a-vis local governments. Yun pala, meron pa rin problema.
Yes.
And that problem as well when tulungan po namin ng DOH at saka ng province of Bataan. Yung lahat ng MOA nilaminasyon namin, binibigyan din namin ng MOA on one-to-one basis.
The counterparty.
Lahat po na infrastructure na construction one-to-one din. And so we were able to construct three brand new spanking building, three-story building connected to each other by a pedestrian bridge. And the hospital namin is ISO registered now, recognized.
We will take note of those recommendations, sir.
Thank you very much, po.
Good afternoon.
Yes,
Good afternoon,
yes,
Yusek,
Hi, Paul.
to my colleagues and to everyone present here. This is not a question, it's an appeal. Because I share the same sentiments with Kong Espina here and with the other representatives. We also have a hospital run by LGU. So, hindi masyadong kumpleto ang aming supplies and medicines. Tapos, minsan ang aming equipment dahil sa dami talaga ng pasyente. Ang record namin, 130 patients na confine. Wala kayong outpatient kasi sa Pasay City, sabi nga ni Secretary Ona, when he visited our hospital, it's a melting pot. So, if I may suggest, you said, sana, if pwedeng gawin yung ginagawa na yata ng DOH, please correct me if I'm wrong, ginagawa ng DOH sa inyong mga national hospitals na hindi na-download na yung pondo, and then pwede rin ilagay na trust fund para hindi magamit kung saang purpose ng local government units. At ito po ay for replenishment kasi nga po talagang emergency needs ang mga kailangan ng aming patients. So, ganun nga po ba ang ginagawa na ng DOH sa inyong mga national hospitals?
Yeah, actually, ma'am, for DOH hospitals, the funds are downloaded, but they cannot use it for procurement of medicines and equipments. It's downloaded there. It becomes a trust fund, lalo na sa specialty hospitals, because of their status as a GOCC. Ando doon yung pera, so every patient na pumupunta doon for medical assistance, parang china-charge. Tapos nag-liquidate sila at the end of the month, na ito yung na-consume ng 1 month, they come out with a utilization report, submits it to COA and to us, and I believe the Congress and Senate will also be copied. Doon sa utilization report, nakalagay doon, downloaded funds, patients, given services, and then amount utilized. So, ganun rin po. Our dilemma here kasi, in the General Appropriations Act, the funds were specified. Andiyan po sa budget na inapprove ng Kongreso at Senado, that it's purely for medical assistance for patients seeking consult in a government health facility. Yung procurement of equipments and procurement of medicines, hindi siya nasama doon. So when we had several discussions with DBM and we asked those questions, we were told na baka i-consider. But because there's also the Health Facilities Enhancement Fund that's being given to LGUs, kasama na doon yung facilities and infra, hindi nga naisama yung ginawa siya na purely for medical assistance. Now, what DBM told us, kasi ito na nga, tapos na, nandiyan na yung libro, what they told us is that what can be done, di ba may pasyente, meron naman doon yung binabayad, it's income that they get. That income, they can now use to procure medicines or equipments, whatever they like. So, yun yung sinabing proposal. Now, if we download the funds, even to LGU hospitals, granting that COA will allow us, I am sure it cannot be used for procurement of equipments and supplies. Pwede lang siya na parang ganun din. Every time may patient, bayad, bawas.
Yes, you said, that's what I meant. Yung pong, pag nandun yung patient, we will not buy the equipments or the supplies para lang yung director ng hospital, meron siyang free hand na makagawa ng paraan kung paano niya ma-answer yung needs ng aming pasyente. Kasi sa aming LGU, although may mga gamot talaga, dahil sa dami ng patients, nauubusan din agad. So pag GL ang ibibigay po natin, hindi rin pwedeng ibili right away ng medicines na kakailanganan ng pasyente, yung GL. So, baka po pwedeng makonsider.
Yeah, we'll make the necessary representations and ask for the guidelines for LGU downloading, citing nga yung sa SWD. But then, allow us to reiterate, basta pag downloaded sa LGU, hindi na pwedeng mabawi yun. So, yung magda-download, hindi siya allowed, yung dapat siguradong walang problema. Kasi alam natin, medyo liquid pa ngayon. Minsan, pagka